Hey, everyone! Today, we're diving into a serious issue that's been making headlines lately: the brutal practices of industrial fishing vessels in the North Pacific. These vessels are not just catching fish, they're engaging in activities that are shockingly unethical and illegal. From rendering fish into oil to harpooning dolphins for shark bait, it's a grim picture of the high seas. But here's the thing: Canada is stepping up to the plate, leading a multi-country mission to crack down on these bad actors. So, let's break down what's going on and why it matters. First off, imagine a scenario where industrial fishing vessels are turning fish into oil, making it impossible to trace the origin of the catch. This is a huge red flag, as it suggests that the fish might not be caught legally. But that's not all. Some of these vessels are also harpooning dolphins, cutting their bodies into chunks to attract sharks. It's a brutal practice that's not only cruel, but also illegal. And the sharks? They're caught using illegal gear, their fins hacked off of the market, and then they're shoved back into the water, still alive. It's a brutal cycle of exploitation. This is happening in the high seas between Victoria and Tokyo, and Canada is taking a stand. For the fourth consecutive year, a Canadian Coast Guard ship, along with officers from Fisheries and Oceans Canada and the RCMP, led a multi-country mission to tackle these fishing fleets beyond the 200 nautical mile limit. The goal? To catch those who aren't playing by the rules, taking too much, or hiding what they catch. And it seems like it's paying off. Operation North Pacific Guard, a 2-month mission based in Victoria, spent 56 days on the high seas, covering over 10,000 nautical miles. Armed with satellite tracking technology and a Canadian aircraft, they boarded 30 international vessels. The mission reported 52 potential violations of international fisheries rules and documented poor living and working conditions for fishing crews. And the vessels? Most were part of Asian distant water fleets, flagged in countries like China, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and Russia. Now, let's talk about the scale of this operation. More than 1,100 vessels are registered to fish in the high seas of the North Pacific, with about 400 operating during the mission. These vessels are massive, with 60 to 80 people on board, and they have a huge capacity. If they're engaged in illegal activity, they could have a devastating impact. Sean Wheeler, the chief of international enforcement for DFO, highlighted the concern over large Russian ships with fish oil rendering tanks, which are impossible to inspect for the kind of fish caught. Canada is working with the ship's flag states to support further investigations and fines, and potential sanctions on offending vessels. They're providing reports with photo and video evidence to international fisheries organizations. And the results? Well, a Taiwanese fishing boat captain was sentenced to more than 2 years in prison for harpooning 43 dolphins used for shark finning. It's a significant jail sentence, and it's hoped to have a strong deterrence for years to come. The mission also reported a drop in the number of dolphin kills this season compared to other years, but it's too early to tell if this is a trend. Canadian Coast Guard officials are confident that Canada's involvement in North Pacific fisheries enforcement is making a difference. They've seen significant signs of awareness, with ships adjusting their behavior because they know Canada will be conducting enforcement in the Pacific. And let's not forget the impact on vulnerable fish stocks, including Pacific salmon, which were banned from being taken by fishing fleets last year. No salmon were found on any of the vessels inspected, which is a positive sign. In conclusion, the high seas are a complex and challenging environment, but Canada's efforts to combat illegal fishing are crucial. It's a battle against time, against the vastness of the ocean, and against the power of these industrial fishing vessels. But by working together, we can make a difference. So, what do you think? Is there enough being done to protect our oceans and the creatures that call them home? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more insightful content.